should get a prompt. Here we go. Good to go, Tups?
Yep. Okay. Welcome everyone to Melbourne CocoaHeads 150, big milestone. It's been obviously a lot of previous meetups that we've had to make it to this point, but yeah, good to see that we've made it to this number. We'll hopefully do a bit of a celebration for it later in the year, maybe around Christmas time, if we're able to all meet up in person.
Hey, Tups, screen sharing has just turned into a big stripe. Hey, now I can see things. That looks better.
Okay, I won't move it to a different monitor then. Cool. I begin today by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land on which we meet today and pay my respects to their elders past and present. I extend that respect to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders people here today. I would like to also recognise the Kuranai people, the traditional custodians of the land where I am tonight. Like I was saying, welcome to CocoaHeads, Melbourne CocoaHeads 150. If you want to keep in touch with us, hopefully be able to meet up in person in the coming months, make sure you sign up on meetup.com. We also have all of these live events on there. Our Slack channel, where the day-to-day discussions and banter about the upcoming iPhone release, that sort of thing, on our Slack channel. Melbourne Cocoa on Twitter. You can always watch these videos either live or post the video on the Melbourne CocoaHeads YouTube channel. Upcoming events, like I said, meetup.com / Melbourne CocoaHeads for all of our events. Upcoming events is a virtual drinks night on the last Tuesday of the month. Sydney CocoaHeads has an event coming up. They've got one coming up next Thursday. So that should be a great discussion if you want to catch up with people and discuss whatever Apple releases. I think it's next Tuesday they release. And finally, if they're a bit dormant at the moment, but the Android group for Melbourne, GDG Melbourne, worth checking out their page if you're interested in the Android side of things. Today is Are You OK Day? Important for everyone, just to make sure that people are okay. And this year they're asking us to actually ask if people are really okay, not just to give a glib, oh yeah, I'm fine answer, but make sure you check in with people, especially at these times. There's a lot of people who are by themselves in their house all day, locked up. So if reach out to people, make sure you ask if they're okay. We've mentioned Slack for any discussions or questions about tonight in text. We've got the quiz tonight, so you'll be able to ask directly, but any questions, drop them in the Meetup channel. And our other Slack channels, volunteers for all the organisation that goes into CocoaHeads. If you're interested in jobs, jump into the jobs channel, and definitely encourage you. We don't actually have any speakers this month, but if you're keen to talk about something, jump into the speakers channel. In October, we'll be looking for speakers again. So if you do have something you want to talk about, jump into that channel. Our code of conduct for CocoaHeads, just as important for an all online meeting or in our Slack channels or anywhere else, just as important as it is when we're actually meeting in real life. So yeah, if you do have any problems, either go to the melbournecocoaheads.com code of conduct page or email codeofconduct@melbournecocoaheads, and an appropriate group of people will take on that and make sure it gets resolved appropriately. The gold sponsor for Melbourne CocoaHeads is Itty Bitty Apps, and our silver sponsors are Latitude, REA Group, and Cognizant. And we thank our sponsors. It's less important when meeting virtually. There's less expenses involved, but we've definitely been able to carry on with the support of all these people. I just want to mention before we jump to the quiz that we're up to 150th episode. I don't know what we actually call them. 150th meeting of Melbourne CocoaHeads. Unfortunate that it's not in person, but we've got a couple of slides from some of our older meetings that we've had along the way. But one of the things that really does make Melbourne CocoaHeads special is all the people over all of the years that have spoken at the events. It wouldn't be much point to it if there weren't people getting up and talking. So we'd just like to acknowledge the following people who over the years have spoken at Melbourne CocoaHeads, and I'll apologise now if you haven't been included in the list. Hopefully it works. Yeah. So yeah, and it was an interesting to. I've obviously been at CocoaHeads for a long time, and interesting to go back through some of these names and see people who are CTOs of businesses working at Apple, co-founders of multi-million-dollar businesses, all sorts of things that they've done. So yeah, definitely encourage anyone, if you want to get your name out there in the world, speaking at Melbourne CocoaHeads is definitely a good way to do it. Just another reminder of what it's, hopefully we'll be able to get a few more people in, but a reminder of what it's like when we actually do get to meet up in person. This is going to be the wrap up for the presentation. Like I said, we've got all of our different channels. We're going to throw to the quiz quite soon. And the next event will be a CocoaHeads virtual drinks night. It will be on the 28th of September. There's a channel in Slack, drinks night. Yeah, it's a fairly casual evening. Jump in at any time. Usually goes for about an hour and a half or so. Feel to drop in, say hello, jump out. And our next CocoaHeads meeting, CocoaHeads 151, 14th of October. As I said, we're definitely looking for speakers at that night. And that finishes that up.
Cool. So quiz time.
Quiz time. Sorry, just. Okay. You see that?
Yes, we can.
I'll drop the pin in Slack as well.
We had one of these with work the other week, and I sucked.
So I'll give you a tip for Kahoot. It's nearly as important about being quick at Kahoot as it is about being right in Kahoot. So
Who's back?
the other tip that I've got for playing Kahoot is if you've got the screen that's showing you what the questions are and the screen that you're using to actually stab the answers, if you have them on different devices, it makes you faster as well. We do it as a Friday afternoon thing at work, so. And I saw a couple of questions from Matt about the photo of what was the RMIT library. I couldn't actually find one. I was trying to look through, and I actually was thinking about I'm looking through my iPhone trying to find it, and then I realized, of course, that was pre-iPhone being in the library. So actually having people taking photos of it with your phone, I don't know if I've got a photo somewhere, but
yeah, it looked like it was RMIT because it was Jesse up there, but then there was the month that was slide. So it's like, is this a library or not?
The library ones were very, very different meetings because they were so small. So that at least for the first year, if not for the first 2 years, that the tradition at the start of a library meeting was for everyone to just say who they were and what they did and what they were working on. Which
I remember those days. It's like a lifetime ago.
Yeah.
I think the one I started going to was when it was upstairs in the engineering building. Architecture up in that building. Yeah. I think it was building 8.
Yes. And there'd often be people there building models and working while we were having our meetings. Okay. Do we have everyone? Yell out if you're not here.
We are one person short. I'm just trying to run through. I can't tell who most of these are anyway. There we go. Should be everybody.
I was going to say, you're not counting me because I'm not playing.
Then we have one extra, which is fine. There are a few people watching on YouTube who might be joining in. So,
okay. I think we're good to go.
I think so.
So this is a practice question, no points for this one. Just to get your head around how it works. What night is Melbourne CocoaHeads Meetup on? You should know this one. Although it's quite possible that you've forgotten what day it is. So
I was going to go for Friday because no one turns up to work afterwards. We're all a bit hungover.
I got it wrong. Yay.
Okay. On to the real questions now. So a mix, mostly Apple tech, a bit of other stuff, and a bit of CocoaHeads trivia as well. So here we go.
Are we supposed to actually see
Oh, sorry.
potential answers on the website? Or-
Do I need to share my screen? So as of Tuesday night, how many tweets has Melbourne CocoaHeads made? So is everyone seeing the questions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want it? Are you able to see the Zoom screen? Is my screen still sharing, Bob?
Yep. Yeah, we can see the questions on your Zoom.
So other than Ben. Are you sorted, Ben? Okay, cool. Here we go. It's quick on the move. What iPhone model numbers haven't been used? Yeah, so 1 and 2, it started out with the original iPhone. It was just called the iPhone. Then there was the iPhone 3G. And then from 8, we went to the iPhone 10. Okay. How many varieties of apple exist? This was actually for Hugh because he wanted general apple trivia. This is real apples, as in things you eat.
Are these rounded off? They seem very exact.
So there's 7,000.
I'm surprised at that.
That's a lot of apples.
Yeah, that's a lot of apples. I was convinced it would be about 100.
And
Probably
now
only
Tups
tried like
has
4.
another slide where he lists all of the varieties of apple, right?
Does that include the technology
Yeah.
company?
7,001.
So you'll also be happy to know that I don't have any more apple trivia about apples, the eating variety, even though you asked for that sort of thing. I do have some Apple Computer Company stuff, but
What about the record label?
none of that. Okay. What was the first Mac capable of displaying color graphics? Probably more what Hugh was thinking of as the type of questions.
This is better.
Note
So
also
Hugh,
not.
do you have one of these machines at home?
I have all of these.
Do any of them work?
I don't know.
Yeah, so you could buy a color add-in card for the Macintosh 2. Yeah. Okay, next one. Know your logo. Which CocoaHeads group worldwide does this belong to?
Poop. No point answering quickly if you're going to get it wrong.
But now I can't keep guessing the same color.
Previous question reminded me of my recent acquisition for of an old Power Mac G4 laptop with a Japanese Air Mac card in it, because they don't call it Airport here. Got all these little plugins that don't actually work with it. So
Yeah. Hugh's probably the person to ask you about that sort of stuff.
AirMac. I've never heard of that. That's interesting.
Well, it's just, I think it's the same card. It's just different name.
Yeah, they're just a different brand. Yeah.
Put that down for a trivia for next time. It's the sort of thing Mark off. I didn't go Mark Orflick level of questions, unfortunately, or fortunately. Okay, next question.
Who's up? No, Ben's still winning. Got to catch up.
I'm just
Okay.
winging it. Like,
Which is not a Melbourne-based tech company.
I think I'll actually get this one.
I think I'm going to just call them Atlassian from now on.
And a fun fact, when I was going through names, I came across Doug Clark, who spoke at Melbourne CocoaHeads. He's actually one of the co-founders of Blackmagic Design, and he's actually on the Forbes richest 500 list.
Oh, wow.
So because
that's
he
impressive.
and Grant pretty much a 50-50 split in Blackmagic, and it's never been private. It's never been taking venture capital or anything like that. So they probably still own half of it each.
I'm pretty sure I've got a photograph of a business in Marrakesh, Morocco called Atlassian. That's a hotel chain.
Hugh's on fire.
When was the first Melbourne CocoaHeads meeting?
Oh,
There we go, July 2007. So we can have a birthday party for next year. Put it in the notes.
I winged that one. I heard everyone say before that it was, before the iPhone. So I was like, okay, it can't be after that date. But it was a wildly wrong guess.
The month after a dub, I think.
Yeah,
July sounds right.
because I think Gareth came back from dub and stuff. How it all kicked off. Which speaker has the most views on a single video on the Melbourne YouTube channel, Melbourne CocoaHeads YouTube channel?
Oh, that could be one of two.
I bet it's going to go for everyone's favorite comrade.
And it's surprisingly by a large margin too. It was Jesse.
I think I can guess the video too, because there was one of his libraries on GitHub that came out of a CocoaHeads presentation is still referenced as like the best example of how to do something, but I can't remember what it was now.
Yeah, it's something like 33,000 or something like that views on that video, and then I think it was the video by Chris Miles is next with 14,000 views or something. Still impressive number of views. Okay.
Yeah, the tiled scroll view, that's right.
Yeah. Ed and Ben getting very close at the top, but Hugh not too far behind. Okay. When did Apple introduce Sherlock, of the famous, everyone talks about things being Sherlocked? It's probably before everyone who talks about it used macOS. At 8.5.
Yes, the original Sherlocking.
Yeah. Pew. Trust. Probably still uses it. Know Your Logo, another CocoaHeads group. Who does it belong to?
That wasn't a giveaway. I hope we all get that right.
Well, I managed to get Auckland wrong, and I thought that was pretty obvious.
Oh, there's one coming up which I had to look it up. I even had to look up where it was. Yeah. True or false? Is that Apple and April Fools? So yes, Apple is an April Fool's. It was formed on the 1st of April, 1976 or 77. I'll probably get that wrong.
Not a trick question then.
No.
Yeah, I thought it was a trick question.
There we go. It's climbing up the charts there. How long did it take to sell the first 1 million iPhones? These are the original iPhones.
Yeah.
One day.
And it took me 5
Cool.
seconds to buy it.
Okay.
Took me almost 12 months because I had to drop ship it through a friend in the US.
iPhone 3GS camera had how many megapixels? Hard to believe how small they were.
Hard to believe there was a race to the bottom on megapixels. Who could deliver
Is
the
there a
most?
race to the bottom?
No, race to the top, I should have said, but doesn't matter.
Looking at you, Samsung phones with 100 megapixels. 3.1.
The number stopped having meaning a long time ago.
Okay.
I remember upgrading from my iPhone 3G to the iPhone 4 and thinking, this has the best camera ever. And then now I look at my 12 and think, I don't know why I bothered taking holiday photos of my holiday on that old phone. So
Where was the first hack nights held? These are the original hack nights that turned into drinks nights and everything else. Joe's Garage in Brunswick Street.
You should have thrown everyone off and put a picture of the one in Wellington.
Okay. Matt coming up to Matt's in the lead now. Hugh right behind. Still pretty
Hugh's been
close.
there or thereabouts.
Yes. Well, that's why you asked for the Apple trivia to be added in.
Stack the deck in his favor.
Who owned the iPhone trademark before Apple? Fun fact, they also owned the iOS trademark as well.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, I
Thanks for
knew the
that, yeah.
iOS one.
I knew the
That's how I
iOS one.
answered it. Yeah.
And then I realized, oops.
Yeah.
Yes, so you can actually find photos, and it was 1989, I think Cisco had iPhones. Matt on fire, 6 correct answers.
Even managed to sneak in a cheeky run to the fridge for a beer.
What was the original code name for the iPhone?
Oh. I want to change.
Frustrating that the colors don't line up with the colors.
And fun fact, I think you still see it in some of the Xcode logs. You still see mentions of purple floating around. It's purple.
Hard
I
to
think it's
see
in the
that
simulator.
amongst all the boring SSL logs and other fun logs.
You climbing back to the top. Okay. Apple was started by Steve Jobs, Steve Wozniak, and who's the bloke in the middle?
I don't like this question.
No, I don't like the question either.
Steve Martin.
Okay, and then we just do eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and just
Yep, go for my lucky colour.
He wasn't called Steve.
Yes.
Should have been called Steve, though.
if it was the 3 Steves, it would be like even better, right?
Yep.
And
That was mean,
fun
Tubbs.
Fun?
That was mean.
And fun fact, Ronald Wayne
Ronald
sold
Wayne.
his share of Apple for $1,800.
That's what you call a regretful exit of the stock market.
He didn't. He sold it early on and financed another business.
Did he spend it on buying a gold Apple Watch Series 1?
It was probably worth more than $1,800 if he just stuck it in a bank account. I think he cashed out in 82 or something like that. Know your logo. Another CocoaHeads logo.
Oh, that's a good one.
And this is another wild stab in the dark.
Yeah, same as mine. I do like how
it's going to be one of the two.
Yeah, I do like how creative the CocoaHeads communities have been around the world.
Yeah, there was one that was so like it doesn't even have the CocoaHeads mug, and it's a picture of a lion, and it's for CocoaHeads Stockholm, and I'm like, I could include that, but that would be just cruel. It's like picking just a random Google question, a Google picture, and sticking it in.
So what you're saying is you did include that question then.
It's coming. Well, see who's actually listening. Okay, Peter to the front. You needs to
I'll
get
retire now. Yeah.
Higher on top.
Okay. What material was the original iPhone's back made of?
Ooh. And that's tricky because it was two materials.
Yeah, it was predominantly one though. Aluminium. About 3G.
It would have been too heavy. Yeah.
Okay. What were the color options for the first generation of iBooks? That's not the first generation, that's the second generation of iBooks.
Is this question thrown by the fact that options is plural?
It could be.
No.
Yes.
I went with the plural. Got it right. Yay.
I thought about putting Bondi blue and tangerine for those who knew it was blue and orange.
I had my first one was a graphite one. That was a good,
very nice.
good MacBook. I think I've still got it somewhere.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Is it a MacBook or an iBook?
iBook
No, it was an
SE.
iBook.
I think they might have put EC on its
Okay.
title.
Next one. Before taking
Mine
over
was an
as
iBook.
CEO,
Yeah.
John Scully worked for which company? Worked
Not
for
too many
Pepsi.
people fooled by your image there.
Yeah, that was cheeky.
Well, I couldn't just put
Intellitunps has been doing this for a while.
I couldn't just put a picture of a Pepsi bottle there.
You can put a picture of John Scully.
One, if you want a weird old laptop, the PowerBook 1400 had a removable back, and you could get a solar panel that went on the back.
A solar panel.
It would charge it up slowly, but if you had no power, it would charge up in about 3 or 4 hours to have enough for 10 minutes or something.
Had the removable CD drive as well, didn't it?
You could put in 2 batteries or a CD or a DVD. Well, there was some other option. Yeah.
You put a second hard drive, I think, in.
Yeah.
In those
Like swappable modules on both sides, and it would work with both modules missing as long as you were plugged into power. I've probably got one, so I'm going to wear in a box.
Which iPhone was the first to sell 1 million iPhones in 24 hours?
Stab in the dark again.
I think it was the first one that was available to be pre-ordered.
You get done for murder for that, stab in the dark.
Only if other people can see you, which is hard if it's dark.
I think the iPhone 4S was at the start of the hype of people lining up and that sort of thing as well.
Was that the same one that the guy was like bragging about it on YouTube? And then he's like, hey, look, I was the first one that fell out and smashed. Was that guy, or was it a later model?
I
I thought
can't
that was
remember.
like an 8 or a 10 or something.
Yeah, I think that was a bit more recent. That was probably in the last
No.
4 years.
I don't think
Oh,
it
this
could
was-
have been the 8 or the 10.
This
I'll
was
have
the
to
one
look
that
it
was
up.
left at a bar.
Oh yeah, this is
Yeah, somebody dropped it off and just left it there. Yeah.
the old Mac world. No, what was it? Gizmodo.
Something like that.
It was an iPhone 6 that was dropped. Just to circle back.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I remember.
Ben back in the
Perth or
lead.
something.
It was kind of funny. But
Yes.
Oh, here we go
Another
again.
CocoaHeads group. Who does it belong to? This one I had to look up.
Stab in the wildest jungle. Like just
Oh,
I
don't even know where that is.
Yeah, where is that?
yeah, where is
I
that?
think it's in France.
That's in France, but I have no idea why that would make sense as a logo.
Yeah, what?
Yeah,
I was
okay.
thinking elephant, and I think everyone was thinking along those lines and chose India.
Looking by those answers, yeah.
Yeah.
I went for
I'd really
tribal
like
because
to
I
look
mistook
at that.
an elephant for a giraffe for a camel for some reason. Easy mistake to make.
They have a population of 300,000. So, yeah.
So it's not a small place.
It's a Geelong or thereabouts.
Not much movement at the top on that one. Okay.
We all got it wrong.
What is the best-selling mobile phone?
3210.
That's so technically you've got two phones grouped into one over there.
Yeah, I would have gone to 3210 as well, Neil. You can't beat that phone.
I've got one that
I
still
knew
works.
it had to be Nokia. I mean, those things, I still have my original Nokia and it still charges and still runs Snack. I don't think it actually sends any messages though, because it's off the network. But
I stupidly bought one of the N90 somethings before iPhones came
Yes.
out, and it was an
I have
absolute
had one of
piece of
those.
shit. Would run flat in about 2 hours. Most things worked. It would crash. It would forget all of your contacts until you powered it off and on. It's just a hunk of junk.
Are
5
you
times
thinking
in
of
for
the
major software
N95 or
upgrades.
something?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
One of the guys at work that I worked with had one of the I think it was their gaming phone. It was looked like a taco.
The N gauge.
Yes.
Not really.
Oh,
there's a
Endgame.
throwback.
like this.
I think you mean Endgame, because that was sort of the beginning of the end of Nokia, wasn't it?
Indeed.
Almost, yeah.
Next one. What is the best-selling iPhone?
Okay.
This is this week, not next week.
Yeah, most of them seem a long way off this one. So
I did like
It's leveled out now. It's no longer just getting bigger and bigger each year.
Well, they're cannibalizing their own markets now, really.
Yeah, 6 Plus, they still work. Like, they're still fine.
So the
Fine.
Nokia 1110 had 250 million handsets have been sold, and the iPhone 6 and 6S sold 225 million. And the reason that the 6 and the 6S, the 6 and the 6 Plus were so high was because they're the ones that got continued through when the 7, 8, and I think you could still buy them when the iPhone 10 was released. You could still buy, the cheap option was still the iPhone 6.
Is that the first one where they just started rolling the previous year's model and kept it as the base one? Like we still have the iPhone 8 now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Lowest memory, lowest everything, but it's really cheap phone. Yeah.
And it's not an Android. More market share for Apple.
I did like this morning seeing the first media article that was predicting what was going to be in the iPhone 14.
It begs the question whether they're going to have the lightning cable, which is USB 2 speeds, right?
They're not going to get next week's stuff completely right, and they're already trying to predict next year's. Yeah, okay, sure.
Yeah, but
If you're going to be
those
wrong, you
people
might as well just be very
always
wrong.
Do it.
Or we want to sell some more clicks.
That's all it is.
Calling it now, you have to turn on your next iPhone by asking it to turn on. There's no buttons.
You got to ask Siri to turn the phone on. We're all doomed.
Yeah, I won't be upgrading. How am I supposed
Can't
to use
wait
the
for the
phone in
press
bed while
release
my
about how
partner's
Siri
asleep?
is so popular.
Next question. In the Finder, what keyboard shortcut shows / hides hidden files?
How many people are opening Finder right now to find out?
Oh, this
I
is
don't
on
know
by
if it's
default
actually in any of
though.
the menus.
This is a brilliant hack. If you can do this, it's great. Well, it's not a hack, but a brilliant trick.
Yeah, I don't think it's a menu option.
It's not a menu option. It's just really, yeah, but it's really handy. It works in open dialogues as well.
Oh shit! How do I turn it off? There we go. That's good.
Same button.
Now that one deletes all your files.
Yeah.
I actually didn't know this one. This is a good outcome for tonight. That'll make me more productive.
Yeah, good.
I usually just go back to the terminal.
So sudo rm -rf /.
You can try that. It's not going to get you very far.
Yeah, well, depends on which Unix system you're using.
That's true. macOS it won't let you do much, especially since the OS is on a read-only petition these days.
Someone said that they heard the sudo rm-rf, they pronounce rimraf. And then you can't unpronounce that. It's always rimraf now for me. You know, I just remove all the files.
Surely there's a GIF of that, isn't there?
Ben's creeping away from everyone. So, what is the appropriate number of files on the macOS desktop?
Is this personal preference?
If you get it wrong, I hate you.
What if you get
So
it wrong,
you
Matt?
supplied this question,
Good
Matt.
tag.
Oh, I'm always right.
Damn it.
So,
Oh, come on with
So-
this.
Like, you're wrong, Tups. Sorry,
Yeah.
you're wrong.
so I knew you'd everyone would be upset about it. This question didn't have any points.
Was it made up by that woman who believes in minimal everything?
Oh,
Great.
Maria Kondo, or whatever her
Yeah.
name is.
Always got to have Macintosh HD on your desktop. That's it.
Yep.
That's all you need.
The only question I got right, I got 0 points for.
So yeah, looking at my desktop, I run out of fingers and toes to count all the crap on it. So
You don't have the automatic stacks stuff turned on. It's very handy.
no.
I mean, when in doubt, just dump it all in a folder, put called desktop_1 and start again.
I don't know with the desktop being covered in desktop_1, 2, 3, 4 folders.
You just drag it all to the trash can.
And if any of them
On
haven't been
macOS.
opened in more than a year, you should delete the whole folder.
Holding what key will simulate a right mouse click?
I keep a folder in my dock called Scratchbox, which Hazel then deletes anything that's over 7 days old. Changes some behaviors pretty quick.
Thought more people would know that one, but it's probably been that long since Apple's had a one-button mouse.
I'm going to say, what's a
I have a
mouse?
one-button mouse right here.
I've got some in a box somewhere.
And I too have a 1-button mouse. Oh, hang on, no, it's my laptop, so I'll just put that back down.
You can just tilt the screen forward, Ben.
Next
Damn it,
question.
Ben, you got to get some of these wrong so I can catch up.
What is the order of the organisers running Melbourne CocoaHeads?
It's like
Oh,
is this a secret religious order?
Yep.
yeah, you got to know your messiahs.
I better get this one right.
I'm not surprised I got that one wrong, but I thought the Melbourne people would get that one right.
Well, granted, I started going after that changeover happened, so I gave that one to Rob, even though I knew it. So I'm nice that way.
Not all of us have been around that long.
When was the first video uploaded
Ah,
to the Melbourne CocoaHeads YouTube channel?
Oh man,
Yeah, that was lucky
A
guess.
lot later than I thought.
it is later than I
Yeah,
thought.
I was
Yeah.
way off.
It was on Vimeo before that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Sitting there thinking, I'm pretty sure they uploaded videos when I first started going when I was still at university, but it was Vimeo.
Oliver did.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That was a trick question, I think. Tubbs.
Oh,
It's all right. We've all got that wrong.
It's promoting the YouTube channel, Sean. It's all good. Original price of the Apple One in the US.
Is this basically how much would you pay for that picture?
I think you pay a lot more than that these days.
Is that in Bitcoin though?
Probably. I think one sold at auction for $1.5 million or something ridiculous.
Picture or the actual thing?
NFT, he means.
Did
A
the Christian
non-fungible token.
did the Christian lobby have a problem with that number?
That was part of the reason they did it, I think.
Mm.
And the original Apple logo was the apple falling on Newton's head, so that was probably a dig at them as well.
Except they've publicly admitted that no, it wasn't. It's just they wish it was.
Yeah, I think they
We
just having
can dream, Neil. Jeez.
fun.
Oh man, getting further behind.
Okay, next one. Another logo. I think this is an easy one. Oh no, this is a tricky one.
I need to Google where Tricity is.
Is it Tri-City? Oh man.
So it is in Poland. I didn't know that. It took that much.
I thought the Trident gave it away.
Though the trident was too obvious.
It's
Atlantis. It's electricity minus the first bit.
I mean, I just assumed the trident was like Poseidon, so it's like a Scandinavian Norse gods kind of thing somewhere up there.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Or as Aquaman, he's using it for stabbing fish.
What goes moof?
I think everybody over 30 will get this one.
I got a photo. with
Problem
it
is
on my
that
first
it's
trip.
actually not mentioned.
That's true.
Like the dog cow has a name, right? It's Claris, right?
Paris.
It's close. Yeah.
And
It used to be in the print dialogue. Yeah.
I can't say I don't know if I've ever used the software.
Take notes.
And there was a technical support document that explained what it was that was in the print dialogue, and it was called a dog cow. And the document just said that it went moof.
Yeah, you could get it in HyperCard as well if you unhid the slider. It was number 31.
So it was probably better documentation than some of Swift UI.
Yeah.
There's the lie there.
Okay. 3 more to go. What is the graphical interface in macOS called? Meant to get rid of the 10.
It's changed so
That's some
much.
interesting capitalization.
Yes. What?
Yeah.
Hey, Hugh, you know, if you win this, you get a copy of Reveal, right?
Oh. Hooray.
Okay. It's called apply.
Clickable.
Okay, down to the nitty gritty. In Finder, Command I brings up the file info. What do you get when you press Command Option I?
That's a good one. I've done it, but
Everybody's
I
off to the
actually
Finder.
never knew what it was called.
Called the inspector. And you know, if you right click and then hit Option, it'll say Show Inspector.
Gadget.
Okay, one more.
Should I disconnect Hugh so he doesn't win?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, no.
We get to boot anyone who gets it wrong.
And if anyone does get this wrong, I was going to say, yeah.
I think
Very
the
embarrassing for that
bonus
person.
question, who actually made this logo?
What does that mean? Who redrew it when we had to make it vector? Or
That's a
Okay.
completely custom logo, that one, I think.
Okay. Second.
Hugh, did you get that wrong or did you just slow?
I think I must have just been slow. I don't know. That was probably pretty quick. You were probably like straight away. Good on you.
So well done, everyone.
Yay.
That was fun.
Well
Thanks.
done,
Thanks,
well
Luke.
done, Tups. That was awesome.
Thanks for putting that
Yeah,
together,
thank you.
Tubbs. That was good fun.
No problem.
I learned a few things.
Yeah. Sharing my screen.
Oh dear.
Back.
All right, then. For anybody who's still listening on YouTube, we'll probably stop the stream now. Don't forget that Drinks Night's coming up the end of this month. Last Tuesday, so it's the 28th. Was it, Tubbs?
Yeah. Yep.
28th. And then we'll be back again here on YouTube on the 14th of October. So long, YouTubers.